All right, hello everybody, it's Xander Hall, and I'm coming at you today with an unscripted, well, lightly scripted. I have a few bullet points I'm going to go over here, but off-stream pre-recorded video, and this is going to be a bit of a channel update, along with me sort of opening up to you guys and telling you what's been going on behind the scenes and why my channel hasn't really been doing well lately, and what I plan to do to try to amend that. So I want to start by saying that at the beginning of the year, things looked really good. I thought I might hit around 100K subs by May, June, or even my birthday in July at the latest. At least that's what Social Blade was saying. My channel was doing very well at the beginning of the year, and it was fantastic. I was super excited to see where things were going to go. Hightail, big game I've been excited for a while, supposed to come out this year. Definitely plan to play a lot of that, and I was very excited, for that coming into this year. But things have gotten kind of bad in the last month or so. Now, something that I think is very important is that as a content creator, I'm very open with my audience and just generally the public about my successes and my failures. This is very, very important in my eyes. I grew up watching a lot of YouTube, and since I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, my dream job has been to be a YouTuber. And obviously live streaming wasn't as big as it is now back then, so, streaming wasn't really up there until a few years ago when it got bigger, but I feel like streaming and YouTube kind of lock in together as almost the same job, at least from the outside looking in, right? So this has always been my dream job. What I'm doing now has always been my dream job. Maybe not the politics side of it, because I didn't get interested in politics till like fairly recently in my life, but it checks a lot of the boxes of what I've always wanted to do with my life. And growing up, since I watched a lot of YouTube, there were a few things that really frustrated me about the YouTubers that I watched, and that was the mystery. There was a lot of mystery about what was going on with the career of the YouTubers I was watching, or the streamers that I was watching when I got a bit older. Like, how much money do they make? If I donate, $5 to this streamer, do they really need it? Are they wealthy enough that it's fine? Or am I just wasting my money and I should give it to a smaller streamer or someone who could really use it, or save it for myself so I could do something I wanted with it? These were always things that I thought about and that annoyed me that I could never know. So I vowed to myself a long time ago, if I ever became popular, I wasn't going to hide how much I made, how well my channel was doing, or any of those things from my audience. Because one, if I'm doing badly, I want my audience to know, so that they can lend support. That's an obvious one. I'm not going to lie and say that I don't want my audience to notice I'm doing badly and to help me out. And two, if I'm doing well, I don't want people to believe that I'm not doing well, and thus to feel some kind of responsibility to help me out or believe that they're helping me out when they really don't need to, when they could lend their support, their viewership, donos, whatever, what have you, to someone who really needs it. So whether I'm doing well or badly, I'll always be open about how I'm doing with my audience. That's very important to me personally. So why am I talking about all of this? What's going on? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at my channel. So here is my channel dashboard. You can see my newest video just hit 9K views. Not bad, really. It's not too bad a viewership. I feel like a video like this a few months ago probably would have 15 to 20K views by now. But what's really been frustrating me is for the last month or so, go ahead and take a look at that. A week ago, I was at 61,450 subs. And then I woke up one morning and I lost 25 subs. I was like, okay, not a big deal. Sometimes YouTube does a sub purge. And then I kept on checking my sub count and it kept dropping. Then it dropped down below 61,400. Then it got into the 300s, and it kept dropping and kept dropping. And then a couple days ago, it got into the 200s. And now it's dropped down. It's about to get into the 61,100. It's probably going to drop below 61,000. I'm probably going to be back to being a 60K sub YouTuber and possibly more, because the drop of subs that I'm getting, I don't know if YouTube's purging them or people are unsubbing, I have no idea, is exponential. I'm losing subs exponentially, and this is also correlating with my viewership. A month ago, I was getting around 600 to 700,000 views a month, which is, pretty nice. I was getting hundreds of thousands of watch time and hours. And I was making roughly $1,500 a month in ad revenue, which almost covers my rent. That, like, my ad revenue check at the end of each month, very helpful, really helps out with my rent and everything. And now it's probably going to end up dropping below 1,000, which is scary, to say the least. So what the fuck is happening here? And is it just happening to me? The answer to that question, no, it's not just happening to me. If we go to my social blade, we can get a bit more of an expanded idea of what's been going on. Monthly gain subscribers for Xander Hall. If we go back to November, things were doing pretty well. Then it dropped like crazy in December. I assume this has something to do with the fact that the election happened. I'll get into that more in a minute. Then it got a little bit better in January, but now in February, it's real bad. Same goes for views. Views have actually been steadily increasing for a while, but whew, that's tough to watch. Now, this isn't actually just happening to me. If we go over to other, similar content creators, such as Destiny, for example, Destiny is experiencing a very similar drop. Very similar drop. Look at that. Just like mine, a big fucking whoop, whoop, whoop. Destiny, whoop, whoop. Same exact thing, right? If we look at Vosh, whoop, whoop, dropping off like crazy. Riley Grace Rashong is actually doing fairly well. She's kind of plateaued in sub growth, but her viewership is, all right. But she's a much smaller channel, so there's less for her to lose and more for her to gain. Same goes for Demon Mama. She had a massive view drop off like we've had. This could also be her deleting a video or something like that. I have no idea what that could be. But her subs are actually going up, but that also has to do with being a smaller channel. A lot less to lose in terms of like a sub purge and a lot more to gain in terms of gaining subscribers. So what does all of this mean? Why is this happening? And why is it happening to left-leaning political channels, especially those that do live-streamed content like what I do? Well, I think it's a few things. The first one is probably the most obvious, and that would probably be going back to brunch. You know where that comes from, right? Before the election, when Trump was in office, lefties and progressive people were constantly looking for an outlet to vent their frustration with the state of our government, having a literal fascist in power that was Donald Trump, as well as Donald Trump's administration. There was constantly news to cover, constantly things to dunk on, and obviously that extended to reactionary content creators who felt very high and mighty having their guy in office. And now that Trump is gone and a milquetoast liberal like Biden is in office, it just doesn't feel that much fun to engage in politics. People are going back to brunch. They're just going back to watching and engaging with what they engaged with before Trump got elected, back in like the Obama days or before they got politically radicalized. The leftists that want to see dunking on Democrats are sticking around, but even though I'm a liberal, even though I'm a leftist, and Vosh is a leftist, Riley Grace Rashong is presumably a leftist, Demon Mom is a leftist, and Destiny, well, he's a liberal. But even though, me, Vosh, and Demon Mama, for examples, are leftists, a lot of our fans are liberals. They watched us not because we had leftist critiques of things, but because we dunked on reactionaries. They don't want to see leftists dunk on Democrats. That's not what they're here for. And that's what a lot of our contents have been since, Trump got booted out of office. So they've lost a lot of interest, and now they're either unsubbing, not watching anymore, thus inactive accounts not really on your channel. YouTube desubs them or unsubs them automatically. And just a lot of people are losing interest, and so that's why viewership is going down. I think there's also another thing that could be contributing to specifically my loss in subs and viewership, and that's probably because despite this always being my dream job, I'm an irresponsible Zoomer, all right? There's three things that I think I am at fault for here. One is my terrible sleep schedule. I have a terrible sleep schedule, and a lot of the time it ends up contributing to my, number two, bad work ethic. I take too many days off. I take too many days off uploading. I don't stream long enough a lot of the time, and sometimes I get lazy with my content. That's something that I've always criticized myself for, and I've been fighting against for a while. I feel like I've gotten way better at it over time, but, it's just something that I have to grow out of and work on, right? And I think the third thing is probably just the fact that lately right? Not too much lately, but I have gotten into drama lately. The last big drama I went through was the Abigail Thorne drama, where I said something along the lines of, when she came out as like, I knew it. I said like, I knew it, on Twitter, like gloating about how I totally called it, because like back in July or something, I'd been like, I think Philosophy Tube might be trans, and then like I got really excited and ended up being true. Very stupid to do. There's a variety of reasons why you should never say something like that, but I got super defensive, and this resulted in a lot of people in the trans community online really, really not liking me. And so I kind of decided to step back from making content dunking on transphobes, which is one of my favorite topics. I love dunking on transphobes, dude. It's so fucking fun because, one, I'm friends with a lot of people that are trans, and I like advocating for the existence of my friends and their validity. And also, transphobes are very easy to dunk on. They're very, like, it's fun because they're so wrong. They're so evidently wrong. So it's just a lot of fun, We can just all sit back and have a good time laughing at the dumb fuck transphobes, But I took a break from doing that for the last few months because of that drama. And a lot of the people in the trans community that don't like me, the people I would call woke scolds, were very glad I wasn't going to talk about trans stuff anymore. But a lot of my fans, a lot of my trans fans were not happy about it. And I imagine a lot of them probably stopped watching me because I said that I wasn't going to do that anymore. And I think that is probably the third thing that contributes to, like, the last month, my channel losing a lot of subs and viewership. And I think the final thing just has to do with the algorithm. And this doesn't necessarily mean that like the YouTube algorithm or YouTube itself is like against our political content. It has to do with the fact that the beginning of each year has always been bad for my channel, as well as the channels of the other people that I've shown you before. For example, here, I'll go on detailed statistics on Social Blade, and we can go back to a year ago. If we take a look at like subs gained back in like January, February, March, April of last year, you can see the growth was a lot slower. Same thing with Destiny, same thing with Vosh, and so on. Same goes for the viewership. It was, this is common. The beginning of the year, I don't know if this is just political content creators. I wouldn't be surprised if it was everybody that does content on YouTube. The beginning of the year sucks as a YouTuber, okay? For starters, it's because ad revenue is a lot worse. In December, ad revenue is the best because you have all of these companies wanting to run tons of ads during the holiday season for new products and like Black Friday and so on. And then the holiday season ends and the ad revenue just goes all the way down. And that seems to also translate to the algorithm, because when content stops making YouTube a lot of money, the algorithm seems to get confused and start thinking that content isn't profitable to recommend to people, which means you basically have to spend the first half of every year as a YouTuber working to fight against that first month or two of the year where YouTube viewed your content as being unprofitable and trying to get back into the algorithm so YouTube would start recommending your videos. But there is one last thing involving the algorithm I feel the need to point out, and that's the fact that YouTube is genuinely not recommending people that are subscribed to me my videos anymore. For the last week or two, and this is what really spurred me to make this video, or at least to talk about this, I've been getting dozens of comments of people saying, finally, an upload, or finally, you're streaming again, or YouTube didn't tell me about this, but Twitch did. Again. There are unironically people for the last week and a half that have thought I haven't been uploading or streaming because YouTube isn't telling them. They had to go out of their way to find my channel, and then they found out, oh wait, no, Xander Hall's been streaming and uploading consistently for the last 2 weeks. YouTube just hasn't been telling me. Even the ones that ring the bell icon, which, by the way, if you want to help out, ring the bell icon. That's how you get the best chance of YouTube telling you when I'm streaming or I upload a video. So a lot of it seems to be out of my control. I can't control that. I can't make YouTube actually notify my subs or whatever whenever I go live or upload a video. That's just a thing you have to persevere through, keep making content, and hopefully YouTube will fix the algorithm before you don't make enough to be able to do this for a living anymore, right? And I want to lead this into, and I'll end this video on a positive note. There's the channel update stuff is coming, The final thing I want to say before I get into the future is that YouTube may be my dream job, but it can also be a nightmare. It is simultaneously the most fun and enjoyable job in the world and the scariest, because whether or not you can pay your bills next month is entirely based on whether or not your audience is enjoying watching you, or if the YouTube algorithm feels like recommending your videos to people, or even telling those that already know about your channel and follow you that you've gone live or uploaded a video. It is an algorithm and the audience that decide whether or not you get to keep doing this for a job. So, yeah, that's where things are now. And it's pretty scary, I have to admit. I am unironically terrified for the future. But who knows? You know, maybe things will get better. So, what's my plan? How do I plan to fix this? What's the idea? Why am I making this video? What is the channel update? Well, I think probably the biggest thing that I can physically do to help my channel is counteract the back to brunch side of everything. The libs probably aren't going to watch me as much anymore unless I'm dunking on some massive transphobe YouTuber, because they don't want to see me dunk on the Democratic Party or the government at the moment, unless it's Republicans maybe, but even then it's not as fun because they aren't completely in power. So what's my plan? Well, I plan to do exactly what I did back in July of 2020 when my channel started to really blow up, back in July and August, and that is getting more into the normie drama side of things, like current events that maybe aren't overtly political, with a slight left-leaning bent, right? For example, I think right now there's some drama happening with James Charles. I'm going to take a look into that, make a segment on it on stream. Could be interesting. I know a lot of people in the normie drama community and the reactionary side try to spin a homophobic narrative whenever, say, a gay person, or a transphobic narrative when a trans person or whatever does something bad. And this is like, I guess you would call it the T community, I've heard it called, like here's the motherfucking T. Like that kind of community, you know? Like the makeup community, stuff like that. I might start covering some of that normie drama more and like going at it from a more political lens. Obviously, this isn't where I'm like bringing my channel entirely. I'm not going to end the dunking on reactionary videos or anything like that. There's still going to be just as much of that, just as much of the stuff that you guys have all become accustomed to, but I definitely do want to phase in more normie drama. And this includes debates and discussions with larger or even smaller non-political YouTubers. Bo Blacks recently contacted me and said he'd be down to talk on stream. I don't know if it would just be a friendly convo or a debate. Either way, it'll be fun. I'd like to have iNabber on. iNabber follows me on Twitter. He's aware of me. Having a conversation with iNabber would be fun. Yeah, I think those are some things that could be pretty cool. I want to go on Augie and Bo Blacks' stream more and like argue with them or argue with whoever they have on that doesn't like me for whatever reason. A debate with Optimus would be cool. A debate with Keemstar would be real fun. Because I know he's got plenty of things he wants to say about me, and I got plenty of things to say about him, and I really think that could be some really good content. I've also been thinking about covering this person called That Vegan Teacher. I've got a little bit more research I want to do. That's actually normie drama. It's a bit more political, and I've watched a few YouTubers' responses to that vegan teacher lady, and their responses are pretty fucking awful. Like, there's no substance to it. It's just like, haha, she's annoying old lady, right? Like, there's not really any substance to their responses, so maybe a response to That Vegan Teacher would be really fun. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff planned in that field, so if you're excited, stick around, ring the bell icon. You can support me if you want to by liking the video, subscribing if you're new, ring the bell icon, join my fan Discord, because that's the one place where you'll be notified 100% of the time when I upload or go live. Follow me on Twitch as well, Twitter especially, follow me on Twitter, and yeah, other than that, I don't think there is much more to say. If you want to support me financially, I've got a Patreon in the description. I've also got I've got like my website, xanderhall.com, where you can donate and subscribe. And I also have my YouTube, where you can super chat or hit the join button to become a channel member, which gives you like special perks in the comment section and the chat and what have you. And, you know, it does help a lot. So thank you for watching. Hopefully things get better, and I'll see you later. Have a good one.